A day of defiance. May Day, 2025. This was not just another protest, but a monumental event that echoed through the streets of America. It was a day when voices that had long been silenced found their power again, and the collective roar of the people could not be ignored. The streets of America roared. The air was thick with chants and the sound of footsteps marching in unison. It was a symphony of defiance, a chorus of voices demanding change, a sea of humanity united in outrage. People from all walks of life came together, their differences set aside for a common cause. The diversity of the crowd was a testament to the widespread discontent and the universal desire for justice. May Day 2025. Not a celebration but a condemnation. The signs and slogans were clear and direct, leaving no room for misinterpretation. This was a day to hold those in power accountable, a day of defiance against the policies of the Trump administration. The banners and placards were a visual representation of the collective frustration and anger that had been building up over the years. From coast to coast, Americans marched. In every major city, from New York to Los Angeles, the streets were filled with people demanding change. The movement was not confined to one location. It was a nationwide call to action. They chanted, they rallied, they made their voices heard. Speeches were given, stories were shared, and the message was clear. The people would not be silenced. This was not just about one issue, one policy, or one president. The signs addressed a myriad of concerns, from climate change to social justice, from healthcare to immigration. It was a comprehensive call for a better future. This was about the soul of a nation. The anger was palpable. Faces in the crowd showed a range of emotions, from anger to determination, from frustration to hope. The fear, even more so. There was a sense of urgency, a fear that if action was not taken now, it might be too late. The stakes were high and everyone knew it, but amidst the righteous fury, there was also a glimmer of hope, a sense of solidarity. People found comfort in each other, in the shared struggle and the collective fight for a better future. A belief that together, they could make a difference. The energy was electric. The belief in change was tangible. It was a powerful reminder that when people come together, they can achieve the extraordinary. This was a day for the history books, a day that would be remembered not just for the size of the crowd, but for the impact it had on the national conversation. A day that would be remembered as a turning point in the fight for the soul of America. As the crowds dispersed, there was a sense of accomplishment, a feeling that this was just the beginning of a new chapter in the ongoing struggle for justice and equality. The power of 50. A movement takes shape. Behind the scenes, a movement had been building. 50 protests, 50 states, one movement. Their goal? To uphold the Constitution, to end executive overreach, to reclaim the American dream from the clutches of greed and corruption. The movement's message was simple, yet powerful. It resonated with people from all walks of life. People who were tired of being ignored. People who were tired of being lied to. People who were tired of being afraid. The 50501 movement gave them a voice. It gave them a platform. It gave them hope. A nation divided, the issues that bind. The issues were many: immigration, workers' rights, executive overreach, healthcare, education, the environment, the list went on. But at the heart of it all was a fundamental question: what kind of country do we want to be? A country that values justice, equality, and compassion, or a country that values greed, selfishness, and division? The Trump administration had spent years stoking the flames of division, pitting Americans against each other, exploiting their fears for political gain. But on May Day, 2025, something shifted. The people had had enough. They were drawing a line in the sand. They were taking back their country. Voices of dissent from coast to coast. Across the United States, from the bustling streets of New York City to the historic avenues of Washington, D.C., and from the vibrant neighborhoods of Philadelphia to the sunlit squares of Los Angeles, people are rising up. They are united by a common cause, a shared belief in justice, equality, and the power of collective action. This is a movement that transcends geography, bringing together diverse voices and communities in a powerful chorus of dissent. In New York City, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez addressed a massive crowd in Union Square. The energy was palpable as thousands gathered to hear her speak, their faces filled with hope and determination. "We are here today because we believe in a better future," she declared, her voice ringing out over the sea of people. A future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, regardless of their race, their religion, their gender, or their sexual orientation. The crowd responded with cheers and applause, their signs held high, each one a testament to the diverse and inclusive vision they were fighting for. Signs that read, "Equality for all, love is love, and no human is illegal," painted a vivid picture of their collective aspirations. Her words ignited the crowd, sparking a wave of enthusiasm and solidarity that rippled through the square. It was a moment of unity, a powerful reminder of what can be achieved when people come together for a common cause. In Philadelphia, Senator Bernie Sanders stood shoulder to shoulder with union leaders and immigrant rights activists. The atmosphere was charged with a sense of urgency and purpose. "The time for talk is over," he thundered, his voice filled with conviction. "The time for action is now." His words echoed through the crowd, a clarion call to all those who had gathered to demand change. The crowd, galvanized by his speech, began to chant and march with renewed determination. Their voices rose in unison, a powerful testament to their collective resolve. His call to action resonated with the tens of thousands who had gathered to hear him speak. It was a moment of solidarity, a shared commitment to fighting for a better future. In Washington, D.C., Jennifer Vasquez Sura, the wife of wrongfully deported Kilmar Abrego Garcia, shared her family's story. Her voice trembled as she recounted the hardships they had faced, the pain of separation, and the struggle to reunite with her husband. Her voice cracked with emotion as she described the pain and anguish of being separated from her husband. The crowd listened in silence, many with tears in their eyes, moved by her heartfelt testimony. Her story was a stark reminder of the human cost of the Trump administration's cruel and inhumane immigration policies. It underscored the urgent need for reform and the importance of standing up for those who are most vulnerable. From coast to coast, these voices of dissent are a powerful force for change. They remind us that democracy is not a spectator sport, but a participatory endeavor that requires the engagement and commitment of all its citizens. As these movements continue to grow and evolve, they offer hope and inspiration to all who believe in the possibility of a more just and equitable world. Section 5. Echoes of the Past, a Legacy of Resistance. The May Day protests were not an isolated event. They were a vivid chapter in a much larger story, a story that has been written over centuries by countless individuals who dared to stand up and speak out. They were part of a long and proud tradition of resistance in America. This tradition is woven into the very fabric of the nation, a testament to the enduring spirit of those who refuse to accept injustice. A tradition that stretched back to the Boston Tea Party, to the abolitionist movement, to the suffragettes, and beyond. Each of these movements, in their own time, faced immense challenges and fierce opposition to the civil rights movement. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and countless unnamed activists risked their lives to demand equality and justice. Time and time again, Americans have stood up to injustice. They have faced down threats, endured violence, and persisted in the face of overwhelming odds. They have fought for what they believe in, even when it was dangerous to do so. Their courage and determination have been a beacon of hope for others, inspiring new generations to take up the mantle. And time again they have prevailed. Their victories, both big and small, have paved the way for a more just and equitable society. The May Day protests were a powerful reminder that the fight for justice is never over. They echoed the struggles of the past, while highlighting the ongoing need for vigilance and action. It is a fight that each generation must take up. The torch of resistance is passed from one era to the next, a symbol of the enduring quest for a better world. It is a fight that we must win. For the sake of our future, and in honor of those who came before us, we must continue to stand up, speak out, and demand justice for all. Section 6. United We Stand, a Tapestry of Causes. What made the May Day protests so significant was the sheer diversity of the people who participated. It was a true cross-section of America: black, white, brown, young and old, rich and poor, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, atheist. They were all there, united in their opposition to the Trump administration. The protests were a powerful reminder that despite our differences, we are all Americans. We all believe in the promise of America. We all want a better future for ourselves and our children, and we are all willing to fight for it, together. Section 7. Solidarity Across Borders, a Global Struggle. The May Day protests were not just an American phenomenon. All over the world, people were taking to the streets to express their solidarity with the American people. In France, unions condemned the Trumpization of politics. In Italy, protesters carried a giant Trump effigy. In Germany, labor leaders warned against the dangers of rising nationalism. The message was clear. The fight against Trumpism is a global fight. It is a fight against the forces of authoritarianism, xenophobia, and hate. It is a fight that we must win, together. Section 8. The fight continues beyond May Day. The May Day protests were a watershed moment, but they were just the beginning. The fight for the soul of America continues. It continues in the halls of Congress. It continues in the courts. It continues in the streets. Every day, Americans are resisting the Trump agenda. They are organizing, they are mobilizing, they are making their voices heard. They are fighting for a better future, and they will not be silenced. The road ahead will be long and difficult, but the American people are resilient, they are determined, and they will not give up. Section 9. A reckoning to come, the future of American democracy. The May Day protests were a wake-up call. They were a reminder that democracy is fragile, that it must be defended, that it must be fought for, every single day. The future of American democracy hangs in the balance. The choices we make today will determine the course of our nation for generations to come. Will we choose the path of division and hate, or will we choose the path of unity and love? The answer is up to us.